Alright guys, this is an in-service for the new Dynamaps that we've been seeing around the hospital. They're pretty much on every floor now, but I just wanted to go over a couple things that are a little bit different than the other ones that we had. First of all, this one is a computer, has a computer in it, so we want to make sure that it stays plugged in as much as possible when it's not in use. Because what you will notice is that when you go to turn it on, which the on, off and on button are over here on the left, if it's been plugged in, it's going to turn on right away. And if it has not been plugged in, it's actually going to take up to like a minute or two to turn on to the screen. So we can use it just like we always have. And you know, I know we use the pulse oximeter and the blood pressure cuff is the primarily uses that we're going to be doing. So I just put the pulse ox on my finger. So if you just are doing like a one-time shot, you can just do that. Otherwise, one of the things that Cindy Solana had gone over with Anna and Jeff and I was that one of the features that this has is that you can take these snapshots. So let's say if I'm wanting to check the oxygen levels multiple times during a treatment session, I can take it initially, push this button here where my finger is, it says snapshot at the bottom, and then it actually does that. And then let's say if you know, are doing a couple other things and you're taking their oxygen and checking the heart rate throughout the session, it's going to allow you to go to this patient and records button here. Oops, can't see that very well. But anyway, this column right here will actually have that snapshot with the time listed for the pulse rate as far as and then the oxygen. And that way, let's say you've taken it 3 or 4 times, you have all of that documentation right there together to compare. Now, one thing that she did mention that she wants us to do is if we are using that snapshot feature, you can hit over here in the corner, it says delete records. And I'm going to check this little box. Oops. And then confirm that to get it off the computer. And the difference with this too is that the nurses, they are actually, there's a scanner on here, so they're able to scan the patient's armband and then take all the vitals and upload this into Meditech. Cindy decided that she doesn't feel like that's a feature that we need to utilize. So, but that's why when you hit that patient and records, you might actually see people's names written in there. So that's what that's from. But she really wants us to try and keep that clear over here for that. And then to go back to the home screen, there's a little house button over here in the left hand corner. I'm going to click that. Maybe. There we go. So for taking someone's blood pressure, there's a button right here on the left. Has a arm with the blood pressure cuff. And it's the one, there's 2 of them, and it's the one on top you're going to push. So I'm going to take that and let that run. So the differences with the blood pressure versus the oxygen and the heart rate is that when it does take your blood pressure, takes the patient's blood pressure, it's going to take the snapshot automatically. So you don't have to push that snapshot button like you do if you're taking multiple ones, you know, during a session. So let me just give it a second to register. Okay, so you saw it kind of flash. So let's say, you know, you're taking orthostatic blood pressures, you're taking like one or a couple different ones throughout your treatment session. Every time you push that button, it's gonna snapshot it. So then again, you can hit the patient and records there, and then it's gonna have a list of them for you to then document what it is. And for the blood pressure, it does put the heart rate down, the oxygen down, And I did want to point out that it does have the systolic and diastolic kind of flanking the map in the middle. So just make sure you take note of that and you write down the correct numbers. And then again, like she wants us to, once we're all finished with that, we can hit the delete records button over here. Come on, there we go. And then it's blank because it was just me and it hasn't been, you know, scanned on a patient. So I'm gonna click the button on the left, check it, so then I can delete it. I'm gonna confirm that. And then that's it. So then going back to the home screen. So again, if you don't need to take multiple ones, you don't even need to worry about doing that snapshot or the patient records, but I did. She wanted all of us to know that that was an option for, you know, for us to utilize during treatments. But again, we are always able to just kind of use this as we always have. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know. Thanks.